Hi everyone, so it's me again. I'm just going to give you another overview to the next learning unit. You will have at this point just finished the learning unit on definitions of research and what research is. So from there we are going to move on to a learning unit that deals with a slightly more abstract concept. And we're going to start off with deciding and discussing and understanding what a worldview is. So I'm not going to tell you now what it is. Again, this is not a lecture, it's just an introduction. But you will deal with what a worldview is and how it fits into various approaches to doing research. Once we're done with that, we're going to have a look at the first worldview. In this module, we're only dealing with two, and that is the post-positivist worldview and the social constructivist worldview. This learning unit is about post-positivism. So we're going to have a close look at that and what that all means, and relate that and link that to something called quantitative research. So post-positivism is linked very, very closely to quantitative research, and we'll have a look at what those things are and what that linkage is and why that's important, and a few other things along the way. For example, we at the moment we're thinking about research. So we're thinking about the kind of ways that you can use in your approach to thinking about how to do research, and that is one of them is post-positivism. So when we do this, we're going to also touch on things like inductive and deductive reasoning, etc., etc. So you'll find that in more detail below this video link, and the kind of material that you can look at to understand that better. Once we're done with quantitative research and getting a good understanding of what that is and where it fits into the broader research picture, we are then going to finish off this learning unit with something called the scientific method. So the scientific method is a sequence of steps that is quite unique to quantitative research. It's not exactly the same in all different fields. So for example, in medicine or astronomy or chemistry, the scientific method is slightly different, but it has some generic steps. It's a sequence of steps, it's a method. And it's important to understand because the scientific method forms the kind of bedrock of what quantitative research is all about and what it's trying to achieve. So we're going to end off with that. Once we're done with that, the next learning unit in this module is the social constructivist worldview. So again, it's a worldview, but it's a very, very different one. And that one has to do with qualitative research. So we're not quite there yet. We will have a look at that. But for now, it will be worldview, post-positivism, quantitative research, and the scientific method. I hope you enjoy it.